Today's presentation will cover the sends at the top of the main mixer page, the main tab, and the effects 1 to 4 and the effects 5 to 8 tabs. This is the main mixer page, which we can see on the X32 edit. So mixer tab is selected there. Channel 17 is the channel that we've selected to edit. So if we go and click on the Sends tab, there's the Sends just at the top. On the bottom half of the display, you'll see how the selected channel feeds all 16 of the buses. So this selected channel is channel 26, keyboards 1 left, and that's feeding buses 1 to 12, but not bus 13, 14, 15 or 16. In the upper half of the screen, you can select where the bus is fed from, where it's tapped from. So the bus would be tapped from 1 to 12 would be pre-fader, so before the fader on the main left-right bus, and then 13, 14, 15, 16 would be post-fader, after the fader on the main left-right bus. By clicking here, you can change Changes Affect Selected Channels to Changes Affect All Channels, which means any changes to the Mix Bus tab on the upper half of the screen will affect all the mixer channels. So not all the Mix Bus channels, so don't expect it to just echo across all the Mix Bus channels, it only affects all the mixer channels. The names of the mix buses are displayed there, and I've named them so that they reflect the headphones that they're feeding. So the vocalist's headphones are on bus 1 to 2. The drummer's headphones are on bus 3 and 4. The bass player's headphones are on bus 5 and 6. Guitar 1 is on 7 and 8. Guitar 2 is on 9 and 10. And keyboards are on 11 and 12. Effects 1, 2, 3, 4 are on 13, 14, 15, 16. Below the names, you'll get on-off buttons, so power buttons that you can see for every mix bus that is displayed. You've got an on-off button, and then you can choose left-right pan. If it's selected, will mean that if you pan something in the main left-right bus to the left, it will be panned to the left for the mix buses. If you don't have that selected, then what you've panned it in the main left-right bus doesn't reflect where you're panning it on the mix bus. If it's not stereo linked, then there is no pan control, and there's no left-right pan control because it can't be panned between two different channels. So it's just one mix bus with fader control. So this is the main tab at the top of the mixer page, which you've selected now. Here you can put a channel. This is the channel 26 on the main left-right bus. So you can choose to put it in the main left-right bus. You can also pan a channel left or right here. Minus 100 is all the way left, plus 100 is all the way right, 0 is in the center. You can also send it to the mono center bus if you're using the mono center bus. On large PAs, mono center buses are often used for low frequencies. We're incapable of selecting whether something is coming from the left or the right in the lowest frequencies, so therefore they put it in one speaker which handles a low frequency. It's called a sub. So low frequency things like kicks or bass guitar might be stuck there. You can choose how much this channel is sending to the mono center bus. Just turning it on and leaving it down to minus infinity means that nothing will be sent to there. And the meters on the right will show you how the signal is panned, whether it's going all the way to the left or slightly to the center bus, or it's going all the way to the right. You can choose above it what panning mode you're going to use as well, left, right plus mono, or left, center, right. The DCA and mute group assignments for the selected channel. This is for channel 26. You can see it's in DCA group 7 and mute group 2. But here, to the right of that, you can choose to edit all of the DCA groups or all of the mute groups. So here we can see DCA 1 to 8, channels 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 are in DCA 1. And if we chose DCA 7, we'd see channel 26 was in that. We can also edit all the mute groups. So there's 6 mute groups in total. And you can see that in mute group 1, channel 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 18, 19 and 30 are in that mute group. If I'd selected one of the first 8 channels, now it's only on channels 1 to 8 that you can get this XY auto mix. And you can choose to assign something to the X auto mix or the Y auto mix, and you can choose its weighting. I'm not going to talk about the auto mix just now in this presentation because I think that's a little bit of a sidetrack. So I'm going to talk about that later in another presentation. If you click on one of the effects 1 to 4 or the effects 5 to 8 tabs, then you'll get this display which shows 4 effects at once. Effects 1 to 4, reverbs, delays, modulated delays, filters and EQs, enhancers, exciters, compressors, limiters, de-essers, guitar amplifiers, pitch shifters. There are 61 effects in total. It's a great list of effects that you can get from the X32. You can turn the effects on or off by using the power button. So you can see we've got a plate reverb. It's on bus 15 and it's powered on at the moment. You can route to an effect using the insert on a channel. You can see on the left of this plate reverb I've got a dual combinator which is inserted on channel 29 and channel 25. You set up this effect to be an insert on this page and then you go to the channel tab and you insert that effect on the channel. You can route to an effect using a mix bus, which is a really useful way to combine all the drum sounds into one drum reverb, for instance. And you can also insert an effect on the main mono center bus. In the effects 5 to 8, these are set up to be insert effects, so it's slightly limited. So they're graphic EQs, de-essers, limiters, compressors, enhancers, exciters, imagers, guitar amplifiers, phasers, filters and pitchers. There are 34 effects in total that can be inserted on anything that you want to from the X32 rack. If you don't want to see all these pictures, then you can scroll through the names. It allows you to see everything at once. You can just quickly go to the name of the effect once you know what it is. You don't always have to scroll through all those images. Effects 5 to 8 is set up to be inserted on channels or on mix buses or on matrices or on the main left right or the main mono center. It's got a lot more routings that are available to it. You can turn inserted effects on or off by clicking on the effects button. Lit up when it's turned on, it's dark grey unlit when it's turned off. So here I've talked about the channels, the mix buses, the 10 tabs along the top of the mix page between this presentation and the previous presentation. I've also talked about what I'm doing this for. It's so that the Lotharios, which is the band I'm in, can have 6 stereo IEMs and a PA feed. So they'll have 7 possible outputs from the mixing desk. I'm using the X32 rack and the X32 edit to try and control everything that's happening in the X32 rack. So next time things are going to get a little bit more involved. So I advise you to just revise what we've talked about so far. We'll talk about the tabs at the top right of the mixer page. Routing, maybe even monitor. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much.